Hello and welcome back to another Esoteric Warrior podcast. It's your boy, the last Emperor, the Lord General, the one and only Sifu G. Yeah. Alright, so tonight, this podcast is about beginning your journey in traditional Chinese Kung Fu, especially the shorthand systems like I teach. So I'm speaking on how I would approach it if I was a beginner. If you haven't got a teacher and you're learning from our material, this Butt May book that's about to be released will teach you everything, how to train the body before you get into form work and whatnot. So tonight's podcast is on starting your journey and what I believe a person should be doing, because it's all about the longevity. And if you haven't got the longevity side understood, you can destroy your body through the traditional training. You feel me? Alright, so every style will have its own unique type of devices or dummies they use for conditioning or strengthening the body. There's many different ways to train as well, right? But in the way I teach, I look at the whole fitness and longevity. Everything is about Yao Gong, the soft and hard or the firm powers of the body. So both need to be understood, right? So Yao or soft has its own training, and the Gong, the firm and hard muscle force in that regards, needs to be understood. And the outcome is a combine of Yao Gong, not separate, right? As a yin and yang, soft and firm, right? You split them to train the body, and then the end product is a flexible power. So we're after strength training in Kung Fu, but with the flexible strength, right? So we don't just want flexibility and strength, we want flexibility through strength training, right? There's a difference. So if you're doing bench press, like, okay, let's look at the hard part, the gong lick, right? The beginning of everyone's training is the gong lick. It's all the external training. So that starts with body weight. You don't need any equipment, right? So if you can't even do your own body weight, you shouldn't be doing any other things, in my honest opinion. So coming from a style or styles that use the round back, the hum bap boy, right? The yulma, the soft and supple waist action and the stance, that's unique to the Hakka type of Bap Mei, Yao Gumun, Long Ying. Some of the southern praying mantis have a flexible waist, while some are very, I wouldn't say rigid, but they keep to like the earth element there. They're very strong on that body, when the Bap Mei will use a little bit more waist. Dragon has a little bit more of other things that are unique to their system. So I can see where it all kind of blends together, but I look at it from two ways, the Yao and the Gong. Coming from Yao Gumun, or most of my Kung Fu, that name itself says a lot. And it's not just flexible power. When you truly think of flexible power, what comes to mind, right? how do I get flexible power? What does flexible power mean? What does it look like? What does it feel like getting hit? Right? So there's different ways to release force. Most systems usually have 8 different energies or techniques that release force. So it covers the bakwa. That's what it's saying there, right? So all the different directions uses a different way, especially like the up, down, left, right, forward, back. So those 6 forces, like look, getting in each joint of the body has to be developed, right? The muscles have to be developed, right? So if you can't even do your own body weight, not talking push-ups, I created a system called 108 Fit. I'm going to plug that just because I went into judo competition and got 2nd and 3rd in 2 different weight divisions, and I was obese. It was the worst I've ever been. I was 108 kilos, and I just look like I've been locked in a pie shop, right? And I still won. I got 2nd and 3rd in the state, right? But I knew that if I was fitter, stronger, more endurance, lighter, I would have, and I could have possibly got a 1st place. Right, but then again, once you start dropping weight, you're fighting guys that are at that weight and ripped. So it all comes down to skill, right? But when I look back at the judo and I see myself, and then I've gone, wow, I really let myself go, that's for sure. Hey, I'll be the first to admit it. Yeah. Right, but I did something about it, and I created 108 Fit, 3 different levels that train every part of the body or uses more than one muscle group. So it co-contracts so many different muscle groups within the workout that you're still going to burn more calories later on. So if you're isolating, just say doing a bench press, right? And I'm doing push-ups or handstand push-ups or one-arm push-ups. I'm still gonna work the muscles and the stabilizer in the arms. If you're using medicine balls for push-ups as well, it really works those finer muscles, those stabilizers, and contracts that many other muscle groups in the body just to hold the body firm enough to do the exercise. So you co-contract so many muscle groups with just doing body weight compared to doing weights. Now, professional fighters all do weights, but they also do functional training. I know that's a buzzword, but that's how I see Yao Gong. It's flexibility through the strength training, and you can't get it when you're doing 1 or 2 dimension. So traditional Kung Fu uses different types of strength training, right? For instance, using a medicine ball rather than a dumbbell, right? So the ball, you can turn different, you can rotate better compared to a dumbbell because it's a 3-dimensional object, like a sphere, right? So you can turn it and do other things, but it doesn't help with, and when I say this, I say it loosely, grip strength, right? When you hold a medicine ball, or in Yokomun, right? I'm using a Yokomun. I'm coming from a Yokomun type of perspective because they're the king of the ball. They're the lions rolling the ball. right? They're the lions that roll the ball. So when you see the Shaolin Temple and you see the lions holding a ball underneath their paw, one's got the flower of life, and that's the male. The female has a cub, right? So there's a female and male energy just in those two statues that you see that out the front of temples, right? And gates out the front of the gate. So when you say Yokumun, right, Mun means gate. Those two lions represent the Yokumun system, because the highest level is the lion rolling the ball, and it comes from the Shaolin Temple. So it's super cool to understand, okay, it's all built on the ball. These internal forms of Yokumun are based on this ball. And the ball contains the pattern of the flower of life, sacred geometry everywhere, circle and square methods, the whole lot. So it trains the body in this flexible type of force rather than a rigid strength. It has explosive power. It works on using, just say for instance, a wooden ball. Then you got a metal ball, a stone ball, and then you got your chi, right? As if you're holding a ball, right? So you got different elements, and those got different weights. And then you got smaller balls and big balls, right? For two hands, one in each hand, right? So it's based on developing some type of power. Whoever created it loved these balls, loved playing with his nuts, right? No, he worked out very similar to Taoism, right? Circular motions and stuff like that. So a sphere is not the earth, by the way. It's a flat. But the holding a ball and moving it, you got heaps of different exercises you can do. And holding a ball is different to holding a dumbbell, because you clench your fist around the dumbbell, right? With a ball, you got crushing force, and that activates all your muscles like a mud crab, right? So if you grab a medicine ball 5 kilos and hold it out in front of you, feel what muscle groups are engaging. Just doing that. Hold it out and in front of you, and see how long you can hold that. Yep, it's not flashy, at the gym, and you got an extra weight to put on the bar and look cool in front of your mates, and bust a fucking vein in your head, and better hit some steroids. I'm just taking the piss. But the ball will give you a body that is a natural, and it's perfect, because the ball is also used in Yokumun for its grappling, right? You can do underhooks, overhooks. There's so many ways the lion rolls this ball. It's such a genius, absolute genius of a method to create. And so that just shows the importance of medicine ball. And today is the medicine ball. Back then it was no medicine ball. It was wooden ball, stone ball, metal ball, and chi ball of Yokumun, and they all had its different weights. Once you start getting into the heavier type of weights, there's only so many ways you can use it then, right? So the lighter weights has a different purpose and training. Some on endurance, full range of motion. Why that once you get into the medium and heavier balls, you've got explosive movements like throws, slams, twists and throws. So throwing the ball with the big heavy one, you've got to explode and push double palms out, right? So the Yokumun system's called the Yokung Sapat Sun Toija, the 18 soft or flexible power, 18 double pushing palms. So, and that comes with its iron palm and iron body. And you can only get iron body through hard training, and that's using a ball and other devices, right? So you'll have a flexible and strong body, pack on the muscle groups that need, and it will be a natural looking shaped body without your lats popping out. You need 10 size shirts that are so big that you can't even walk properly. The Yokomun ball is one of the best exercise workouts you'll ever do, and that's why I've added that to the black tortoise. But it's in a lot of other styles, right? So you got the balls also with the holes in them for the tiger claw. I've got them as well, and they're in the book for the Batmei, for the tiger claw training and eagle claw training, stuff like that. And they work the shoulders and your grip and so forth. Different to a normal solid round ball with no holes for the grip, right? So you see where this all leads. We're starting from the fingertips, because once you hold a ball in your hand, you're running the chi to your fingertips, because both hearts of your palm, the Lao Gung points, are facing each other, especially when you're doing the ball rolling the ball, right? Called the Si Chi Guang Gou, the lion rolling the ball. And it's done, and if you're not flexible enough, the ball doesn't roll smooth enough, if that makes sense. And this is a full workout. And yeah, if you can throw that heavy balls around and do all these exercises, once you pummel, grab someone, it's like using the ball. You got all your underhooks, overhooks, collar ties, neck grabs, and neck breaks, right? The ball also in Yokomun represents the person's skull when you grab the chin and the hair and you twist and turn and roll and you break the neck. So it's about smashing, coming through, throwing, because there's a lot of throws in the internal Yokomun system because it comes from the north. So that ball also is for the grappling side, and similar to judo, the shuko or the sui jiao of the northern Chinese Mongolian wrestling. But Yokomun has its own ball type of training to deal with grappling, grabbing. So the longer and you do your workouts with the ball, it's unforgiving. It burns, it hurts, as in good hurt. It builds your muscles up. That clamping action, that crushing power, two hands trying to push together. The heavier the ball, the more pressure builds up. Right? Super cool. Like I said, like a genius that came up with all the different exercises, and the forms have the ball exercises hidden within the moves, right? So, like I said, Yao, the soft part, is the forms played slow and good for the health, and the ball training is to strengthen the whole body. So yeah, body weight training, and then on to doing weighted type of training, such as the ball and the roller bar, the claw bags. All these are crucial for every student. Before they get into hitting and conditioning, they got to develop their stances properly with stepping and explosive. And you can't just go, oh, I'm going to be explosive tonight in my footwork, and you don't train explosive. Right? Explosive footwork, you got to do explosive footwork drills. You got to do certain strength exercises for the legs, the toe power. I keep banging on about how important the toe grip is. because you got your tendons that run from your fingertips to your toes, and the toes are a trigger for your force, where everything comes up from the ground up and out, or if you're gonna absorb and it comes from the top down to the bottom into the ground, right? But if you haven't got strong toes and good grip, I watched a boxing YouTube clip years ago, and the guy said an advanced way that he teaches boxing, and it wasn't advanced to me, but it is to them, is they go, grip your toes when you punch. And what's the first thing you learn about stances and stepping and toe gripping to activate the kidney 1 point, even just for the He Gong side, the standing breath work, right? So the toes are the first, that's what we stand on. So the stances and mobility, so there's cardio that comes with just stances and stepping, right? If you want to lose weight, do lots of leg work, because the heart has to pump blood further away. So the more leg work you do, it's going to burn those calories a lot longer. Trust me on that. So a lot of people hate squats, lunges. These are just normal, natural things, right? That you should be doing everyday things that will keep your mobility, doing lunges and squats, right? Most people were either on a lounge or walking around but not doing squats. And you know that a lot of the Asians, they squat down when they talk, because this is good for men, for the prostate as well. It's good to keep those knees and hip joints, ankles still in check by bending down and up, right? So keeping that flexibility, and these are just natural movements. So body weight should be a natural type of movement, and that will build your body up naturally, and it will put muscle where it needs to be, rather than, oh, I just want to have big pecs, and they just go to the gym and work pecs. It's pec night all night, every night. You know, pec deck, bench press, decline, incline, push-ups, this and that, and they'll just keep whacking on anything to try and get every part of the pec, cable rows and pull downs and all sorts of things, when a ball can help. Holding a medicine ball and doing a medicine ball workout will really tone up the upper body. That's why you got to do certain footwork, like, you know, horse stance squats and stuff like that, and you still get the whole workout in with a medicine ball. But if you haven't got the money to do that, grab 2 chairs and start doing your push-ups. And then once you can, if you can't do them on the ground, get 2 chairs and do them on an angle upwards, right, on an incline, and start that way. So yeah, body weight, 108 fit. There's 3 levels. First level is 108 days, and you do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 108 push-ups, 108 leg raises. That could be either hanging or on the ground, and 108 squats. And Wednesday and Friday. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, those exercises in between those days, just say Tuesday, Thursday, just walk for 1 hour and 8 minutes and breathe deep. Try for 4 seconds in and 4 seconds out, and then work up to 7 seconds, or 7 steps breathing in, 7 steps breathing out. And you'll find it's not so easy, but it helps with post workouts, because it's flooding the body with oxygen, right? So on your days off, just go for a walk, 108 or 1 hour and 8 minutes, sorry, of just breathing deep and 7 seconds. Work up to 7. In the beginning, it might be way too hard, even 3 seconds, but at least you're focused, right? You're focused on what you're doing. So if you've got any lactic build-up of acid of all your doing all your 108 body weight training on Monday, definitely just walk on your day off on Tuesday, Thursday, and have Saturday, Sunday off. Plenty of water, plenty of good sleep. Now when I say 108 reps per 3 days a week, you can do just say 36 in the morning of each, 36 at lunch, 36 at night, and it's done. And you never go to fatigue. The 108 number is a spiritual number. It's a high repetition number, right? But I used to do it when I was walking around the park. I'll do 9 reps of 12 sets. So I only do 9 push-ups on the bench, go to the next bench, another 9. I do that 12 times. That's 108. And I've just did it around the park as I was walking my old dog Dharma. And that's just me push-ups done. When I get, if it was a beautiful day, I might even include the squats, or even just drop down and do the leg raises as well. But if you come home, you can do it all at home, and you can do it even while you're watching TV, in between during the ads. Go down and do your push-ups, sit-ups, squats. Just do 9 of each, and the ad's finished. You sit back down and get back up each ad, and you watch. You've done it within the whole day. Very easy. But if you're going to fatigue, if just say you're doing 10 push-ups and your max was 5, and you're got bad form and you're struggling to get up, then you should be doing at least 3, and just do it in 3s. Do 3 perfect, 1 rest. Just never go to where your arms are gone to sleep and fatigued, right? We want to last longer, so less is more, and you'll build up the next strength. When I first started the 3rd level, which is chin-ups, I remember when I was overweight and I was at the park. I used to train at the park and had the kids' monkey bars and swings, and I used to use all that for me training, and that's how I came up with my 108 fit. But I couldn't even do 1 decent pull-up or chin-up. Seriously, 1 decent one where I was thought, fucking shit, fucking, and you're swinging your legs to try and help you propel yourself up. I couldn't do 1 perfect controlled chin-up. And I thought, wow, how do these people do it so easy? And I thought, okay, I'll start. And I just did 1, and I'd rest for like 15 minutes. And then I'd jump up and I'd hold myself up and slowly lower my body down as long as I could take to get there. And then I'd rest, jump back up, hold myself at the top, lower myself all the way down. And then a couple of weeks later, I jumped up and I was able to do 5 perfect chin-ups. I couldn't believe it. So yes, you can change your body in 108 days with just 3 exercises, and it will work more body parts than you would be going to the gym, have to isolate leg day, arm day, back day, chest day. this will use all your body. Push-ups is one of the best. So same as the squats, the Hindu squats. The Indians love it. They do their push-ups, the Hindu push-ups. They're big on it. They're wrestlers, some of the best wrestlers, right? Back in the old days, they were some of the biggest and strongest wrestlers, and they were massive on body weight too. Not just the big clubs and maces, but they had to start from the beginning, and that's all the body weight, right? So a medicine ball or a claw bag can get you started, right? But if you start with your body weight, go into a claw bag, and the claw bag, you can just use rice. You don't have to use steel ball bearings, right? Just use rice or mung beans, and you throw it up and catch it, and you pierce your fingers into it, and you grab tight, and you throw it up and catch it again with the other side before it comes back down. There's other ways. You can swing it around the back and catch it up, get all fancy. But if you look at, you want the straight line out like a jab cross, grabbing the throat, grabbing the pec, right? So you got to see it for what it's worth. It's not just, I'll throw a bag up and I'm catching it. Yeah, it's a good little workout for the arms, but every time you grab it at that distance, and you try not to let the bag and your arm sag down, so you got to control that and stop it dead in the air. And if it's 5 kilo bag, you get that contraction of the muscles again, right? And every tension, every contraction is muscle growth, right? So everything in Kung Fu, the basics is where it's all at, all the training devices. The claw balls, like I said, there's small to large ones. The larger ones can only be used in a certain way for power compared to the smaller ones, like 5 kilo. But the roller bar is something that especially Grandmaster Dewey was massive on. Like in Yokowan, we use a solid steel bar. I've made heaps of videos on this on YouTube about the roller bar. And then the Grandmaster said, how long have you been rolling the bar? The juk gong gong, the bamboo rolling method. And I said, we use this weighted steel bar and solid. And he goes, Gary, it hurts, doesn't it? I said, yeah, it fucking kills. You're grinding your nerves and your skin, and it's not enjoyable. Yeah, I can see it. There's a pain threshold that you might want to, but I used to think, why am I doing this? And it's fucking grinding my bone, and you can feel it, all the nerves. And Grandmaster goes, in the Bap Mei and Bak Fu Pai, we use a hollow bar, and we add the steel ball bearings inside for the weight. And I said, yeah, and what does it do? And he goes, well, dead bar is dead force. Like a solid bar, you'd say it's dead force. So the one he uses, which has the empty bar with the ball bearings inside, or a bar through it, is called live force. And as the bar rolls down your skin, the inside is rolling the opposite direction, or even sometimes, depending on, it's just rolling, right? And that rolling and swaying vibrates the bar, and we want that vibration to activate the calcium inside the bone, and that will harden the bone. But this bar that the Grandmaster Dewey uses is not too thin. It's like you can buy a leg of a table, a stainless steel one, and you fill it, and it doesn't hurt, doesn't grind your nerves, and you can do it longer. And I said, oh, this is so much better, Sifu. And he goes, you can do it longer as well, right? And I said, yeah. And he goes, and why is that important? I said, well, the muscle memory, and it builds up the muscles like a boxer does doing thousands of punches a day, right? So that weighted bar, you're rolling for a long period of time, in, out. There's a circular method, there's a square or a straight line method, linear and circular. Both has its good points. I do both, but I prefer the circular because it allows the shoulders to engage in a different way that I like to strike with, and gets that wave action going in the body, especially the spine. Not only does it vibrate the calcium, but it sensitizes your forearm skin, right? It shouldn't be grinding your nerves to where it's dead, right? Imagine grinding that down, and then on top of that doing 3 stars and smashing your nerves some more. Doesn't make sense. The Grandmaster said you want a fast, reflective, you want those reflexes to be like it's subconscious, right? So rolling for a longer period rather than go, okay, I've got the bodybuilding bar I've seen some schools, they put the weights on the end and they think, oh yeah, get rolling, that looks good, and this is good, Sifu, and you see their face, it's like they're taking a shit, fuck this, what are you doing? Think about, it's all about what? Longevity. And if you're fucking your body up, you can't train Kung Fu all your life. But if you train correctly, you'll have the longevity to train Kung Fu all your life. You know what I mean? So that woke me up, and then I started to realise that Grandmaster Duwei had a lot to offer, and it only just takes you to try the difference, especially if you come from the same type of roller bar like I had, which is a steel bar with weights on the end, and you grind the shit out of your arm. So yeah, I've got that experience, and trust me, I'd rather roll the life force, get the sensitivity. That rolling also works that mind to concentrate on your breathing, because it's a distraction, right? That shh, 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 as you roll every time. It's like, yeah, you love to hate it, but it's such a good exercise, and many people just give up. They I'll just do it for a few weeks. Yep, I've done the roller bar. I'm a master at roller bar. You got to do it every day. You got to train it like you're doing weights, right? So I have a light one, only a few kilo, then a 7 kilo, and that's as far as I go, 7 kilos. Not because I'm not as strong as the next person, but remember longevity, right? I can do more and build up my muscles stronger, because this is called the Jukong Gong method to Grandmaster Duwei, what he called the unstoppable punch. And it's not just the unstoppable of being fast, because you're rolling that thing up and down your arm as if someone's putting pressure on your bridge. So you've built up this resistance in your shoulders, your lats, how to balance out your anatomy through the motion. So when someone touches that arm, you've rolled 7 kilos thousands of times. What's a person's little parry gonna do? Not too much. So it's unstoppable. You've had power on that. It's like a boxer with the they train in they got their wraps on, and then they got like maybe 16-ounce boxing gloves that they train in. And if anyone has done boxing or kickboxing like I have, you know that your arms go to sleep. But especially if you've got a good fighter, and it's a real, from the jump off. As soon as you touch gloves, it's a fight. It's not okay. Let's take a round and get into our rhythm. There's some fighters that'll just come out and just want to blue, right? So you got to have all your body trained to be responsive. Got to have strength in every part of every joint. Every joint has a different way of movement, right? So the roller bar can help with your shoulders, elbow and wrist, your back, but too heavy will destroy your back, right? And that also goes with the iron rings, right? A lot of people wearing iron rings, they put every iron ring on their arm they could possibly fit, and do a video that shows zero structure. They're just worried about how they look, and the wrong movements with iron rings will destroy your back, your shoulders, your elbows, everything. You do not want to do iron rings stupidly with so many rings, and you have not even developed the muscles to hold that many rings. And you do throw it so hard and fast that it's going to do damage to your shoulder, your back. Trying to hold out that much weight, it's just going to fucking destroy your back, your student's back. That it's ridiculous to see some people doing iron rings these days. It's what not to do with iron rings. So the Bak Fu Pai uses, and same as the Bap Mei, Black Tortoise, Yolkun, we did it every class, iron rings. But the best way to use the iron rings is you start off with 2 if you're a man, right? Start off with 2 and do exercises such as the Golden Bell, the Gum Gong Golden Bell method of Bak Fu Pai with the dynamic tension, because they're built for that type of movement. Doing Kung Fu forms with all these movements with so many rings will actually destroy your shoulders, neck, back, lower back, the whole lot. Like, it's not worth it. Get a roller bar, start with your basics, because rings also throw off your timing when it comes to doing pad work. Right, when you're doing punching with the rings on, rather doing an iron body workout with dynamic tension with the rings on, because doing dynamic tension alone without the rings, that's a fucking workout, right? And then you start going, okay, I want to up my workout and build a little bit more muscle once I can do it properly without the rings. That might take a good year or a few good months of strengthening the right way to do those movements before you put the rings on, right? So there's forms that are designed for the rings. Not every form is designed for rings, and not every punch should be used with the rings, because you're gonna fucking destroy yourself. Stop it and get some help. Too many rings for likes and stupidity. Structure is off. Power, midget boxing, it just doesn't make sense. But if you should start your journey off with developing your body, and no matter what system you do, they'll have apparatus or devices to train and strengthen the body, their own stretching routines or kicking drills that's unique to their art, right? So when you start Kung Fu, start with a professional attitude of longevity. If you really love Kung Fu and you want to do it for the rest of your life, you got to go into it with the longevity aspect, not the tree hugging, I'm a towers with hair buns and pins and beards and I'm going to hug a tree. And I'm not talking about longevity as what people see, that type, as in physical health, right? Mental health, spiritual health. It's a complete package with Kung Fu. But you can't just... I understand when people go, oh, your weights is bad for Kung Fu. I believe, yes, but in the text of looking like a bodybuilder at the end, if it's done with the Kung Fu way, I think you'll have a better longevity and better health outcome, the Kung Fu way of strength building, compared to if I went up to the street and joined the local gym and started hitting the pec decks, bench presses. Hey, look, at the end of the day, if I'm not doing Kung Fu, I'd be doing body weight, or if I didn't know anything, most people join the gym and want to get big and look good. And sure, that's all well and good, but most people give up the gym and never use their passes or gym memberships, right? I'm guilty of that. I remember I had a gym membership at work. I was paying for it and never went because I prefer to do my Kung Fu stuff at the end of the day, so I had to give that up. I thought just because when I moved here I didn't have anyone to talk to. I still don't. Bullshit, I talked to every fucking bastard on the phone. Chris! Simon, everyone. So, no. But getting to a routine of being professional, planning your workouts, what you eat is so vital, and what you put in the body in water-wise, because you can drink a shitload of water, but your body's not going to absorb it if your intestines are full of shit, obviously. But I was talking with him, Chris, today, talking about Celtic sea salt. You can just put a few granules of them under your tongue, and apparently that is as good as any type of hydration drink with a bit of warm water to wash it down, and that's as good as any hydrate type of drinks and ice blocks, because I've been taking those hydrate pills in water that fizz up, and just to try and keep myself hydrated. But once you start working out how foods and minerals work, then it's like, how come we don't get taught all this vital information and all that? So going to Kung Fu, I always go off track, don't I? But go into your martial arts with a professional attitude to get fit, to rep your art well. And if you haven't got a teacher, just start with body weight, or you can wait for this Butt May book that's about to come out with all the different training devices and ways to train the body in Butt May, Ngor May-san, from the Do family. And hopefully that might get you all started Good. That's going to be that's an absolute massive book. Wait till you see this. Oh my God. Probably be the most important book out there. And that's no joke. The amount of information and stuff that is in there, and training tools and devices to get your body strong. Before you even start to learn how to freaking do a form, what's the use in doing a form and you haven't even built the body up? You're doing tiger claws and forms and all this other stuff, and you haven't done any iron palm. You haven't done anything in punching pads, punching bags, but you want to do forms. What makes you think you're going to be able to land anything in a fight if you haven't even hit anything? Right? Punching the air is not the same as real fighting. Come on. And if you really believe that you'll be able to pull most of your shit off out of your form against a good fighter, not the average dickhead that's just drunk and throwing stupid shit. I mean a real guy that really wants to fucking kill you with good technique. A good fighter that can box, that can kick, that can knows his in-out ranges and tag you and not get hit. You know, like, you can't get that from the form. So you got to develop your body the right way. So anyway, all the best, and till next time, peace out.